Ashley and Shelly and Lenny. And today we are going to do our digestion review activity. So if you're watching this video, that means you just read what happens to a hamburger with me and the reptiles. So this video is an activity for us to do after. And now that we've learned about the entire digestive system, we are going to go through the steps of it. So behind me, I still have my human, and I thought we could start with just going through some organs we've talked about. When you chew and swallow food, it then moves down your esophagus, which is right here. And here is a picture of it. And that green is the food going down the esophagus. And after the esophagus, the food lands in your stomach, which is right here. So after the stomach, the food then goes to your small intestine, which is also right here. And then once it's done in your small intestine, it moves to this organ on the outside called the large intestine, and it looks like this. And then after your body is done digesting, the end result is your body gets energy, and whatever it doesn't use comes out of you as poop in the potty. So today we are actually going to do an activity where we are going to make poop. So after you've gathered your supplies, we are going to start going through the steps of the digestive system. But we are going to pretend that we are the digestive system. So we are going to do the job of what those organs do every day. And while we're doing it, I have a video by Smile&Learn that I'm going to put up on the screen. That way, we'll watch in the video some food traveling through the digestive system while we are working with our hands.
Digestion is the process whereby food is transformed so that it can be absorbed and used by the body's cells. Digestion starts in the mouth with chewing and salivation. Teeth are used to chew and mash up the food. The salivary glands produce saliva to soften food. The tongue moves the food around, mixes it with saliva, and forms the bolus.
So, I have a Ziploc bag, and this is where a lot of what we're going to do today is going to happen, inside this bag. So, I also have a bag of stale Rice Krispie treats. These are not ones that I would normally eat. These would have gotten thrown out. So I'm going to do a science experiment with them. So ask your parents if they have any old stale food for you to do an experiment with, because we are not going to eat our experiment. And also, we shouldn't really waste food. So before you take something new, check and see if you have something old that you forgot about, like these 2017 Rice Krispie treats. So the first thing that happens when you eat food is you put it in your mouth. And inside of your mouth, your teeth chew it up, and you add saliva to it to make it easier to swallow. So right now, my Ziploc bag, I'm gonna pretend is my mouth. So I'm gonna open up my mouth and take a scoop or a bite of these Rice Krispies, and I'm gonna pour them in. That was a big bite. I might have to put some back. So I've got some food in my mouth. Now, the next step in your mouth is saliva. So I've got some water, and I'm just gonna pour a little bit of water into here to be like my saliva or spit that's in my mouth. So my mouth is full of food and saliva, so I'm gonna close up my Ziploc bag. So now I'm gonna chew my food. This usually is done with your teeth, but we are the digestive system today, so we have to be the teeth. So my fingers are gonna act as my teeth, and I'm gonna chew, 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 and crunch up this food. So I'm chewing my food like I would in my mouth. And you'll see it looks a little different. It kind of made like a clump instead of all those loose Rice Krispies. So that was the mouth.
The pharynx has a valve that opens to swallow, and then the bolus moves on to the esophagus. The bolus moves forward through the esophagus until it arrives at the stomach.
After the mouth, you swallow the food and it goes down the esophagus. So we are now the esophagus. And what we are going to do is squeeze and squish up this food and try and get it to stick together. The esophagus is always squeezing and pushing the food down with its muscles. So we're going to really squeeze and push all of this food to make a ball. Like this. So I've got a ball of food that went into my mouth and down my esophagus. Now the next step is the stomach.
The stomach secretes gastric juices that continue with digestion to process the food.
Now the stomach adds gastric juices and other stomach acid to the food before it moves on to the next part. So to be in my stomach, I'm going to add a drop of soda or pop into my bag. And this is to be like the acid in your stomach and the other gastric juices that are added now. So if you have a dropper or a spoon, that would work best, but I do not, so I'm just gonna pour a little bit of Coca-Cola into here to have my stomach start working on this food with those stomach juices. And when you pour it in, you could hear the juices fizzle. Listen closely. Did you guys hear it? So I've added my stomach acid. And also in the stomach, it mixes up your food more. So you could start squishing it around a little bit more. So this food went into the mouth where it got chewed up and we added spit, down the esophagus where it got squeezed and pushed around, and into the stomach where we added some gastric juices and squeezed even more. So I've mixed the contents of the stomach and now there's a little bit of water loose in my bag. It's no longer a big old clump of these Rice Krispies. So now that the stomach has done its job, the next step is the small intestine, which is right here.
Most of digestion occurs in the small intestine.
So it goes from the stomach to the small intestine. And now you're gonna need your plate with a paper towel on it, and you are going to pour the contents of the stomach onto the paper towel. It looks pretty gross so far.
Here, the substances the body needs are absorbed and passed on to the blood.
The small intestine absorbs some of the nutrients from the food. So this paper towel already started absorbing some of the liquid that was loose in my food pile. So the small intestine is now this paper towel. So what you're gonna do is absorb some of the extra liquid in your food clump. After the small intestine, which is right here, the food moves to the large intestine. And in the large intestine, oh, there's a cat there, we'll just ignore that. Chris is just gonna hang out on that human back there for a little bit. So, the large intestine absorbs even more liquid or fluid from this pile of food. And what it does is it absorbs it and brings it to the rest of your body.
Any substances the body has not yet absorbed go to the large intestine. There, the body absorbs the substances it needs and water.
So what we're gonna do is roll up this ball of food in the paper towel to get those last things that we could use from the food for the body. So we're gonna absorb the last useful parts of this food. And while you're doing it, kind of roll it. Because after the large intestine, This is always the best part. What does your body do with the food it cannot use after it's been through the large intestine? Do you guys remember? Whatever it doesn't use, it pushes out of your body as poop.
The rectum and anus are the final parts of the digestive system. Here, the substances the body does not need are expelled.
So, to finish making your poop, you're gonna roll up the paper towel and unroll it. And look, it's yucky poop. Boom. Poop on a plate. And that is how your body turns food that you eat in your mouth into poop. So right here, oops, pick that up. Right here, this is what I ended up with. And it does look like a piece of poop. All right, that is all for today. We used food, water, and some soda, and we went through some different ways to mix it and pour it out, and we have a piece of poop. And that is how your digestive system works. So that is all I have for today. And if you guys do this activity at home, I would love to see pictures or videos of the poop you make, not your real poop. So I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.